Coast Guard is looking for whoever has been making hoax calls to their station in Warrenton. And one of the tools they're using now, new technology that creates a physical profile of that caller from just an audio recording.
Yeah, it's only based on the description of the voice. Our Tim Becker tracks down the point person behind the signs to learn more about how she is helping the Coast Guard.
Every mission for the Coast Guard is about saving lives, about responding to distress calls.
It can be a cell phone call or a radio call on VHF, Marine Band.
And when those calls first come in, they kick a giant, expensive search and rescue operation into high gear.
Back in latitude 30, Star Survivor coming out.
But lately, more of those calls are turning out to be bogus, made by hoax callers who the Coast Guard is serious about hunting down, so they're now turning to voice profiling to help collar the bad guys.
It becomes an issue when the intent is to deceive the Coast Guard in thinking that there's distress when there is not.
So you can get a personality.
You can get a personality. You can find out demographic parameters, race, origin of the speaker.
Dr. Rita Singh, a computer scientist at Carnegie Mellon University, is the lead developer of technology that creates a physical profile from analyzing a single voice.
It's a powerful tool. It's a valuable tool. It's the deduction of physical parameters, of course, height, weight, body shape, facial structure, whatever. It's also the deduction of physiological parameters, age, and the presence or absence of medications in the body, behavioral parameters, whether this person is a leader, what are the dominance characteristics, medical characteristics.
All that from only a voice?
The calls are coming from either Chinook, Washington, or between Warrenton and Seaside, Oregon.
That is what the Coast Guard is hoping.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
That is one of the audio clips of a person who placed 22 false Mayday-type calls in the last year. Here are two more.
46 north, 58 west. Lifting hold the starboard and taking on water.
Even this much information is valuable information for law enforcement agencies. They're looking for any and all information that they can get about the criminal.
Dr. Singh analyzed those same audio clips, knowing only they came from the Coast Guard, but not specifically where. She tells me her computers, loaded with cutting-edge machine learning algorithms and signal process technologies, use a bank of predictors to arrive at a profile.
It's like a bunch of experts making predictions about something. And at the end of the day, we have to apply more algorithms to decide on come up with a final prediction based on their predictions.
Her conclusion for this guy? He is a white male, 35 to 40 years old, 5 feet 10 inches to 6 feet tall, weighing about 190 pounds.
Speech is in many ways, a very messy signal. There's infinite amount of information is buried in the speech.
Jan van Santen, director at OHSU's Center for Spoken Language Understanding, isn't quite sold on voice analysis purely for physical profiling, though he tells me there is a lot of interest now in using voice for legal purposes, similar to fingerprints and DNA.
Yeah, that is a growth business, but I think that the jury is still out about whether that really works.
There are different pieces of information that we are able to glean from different recordings, depending on what the content of the recording is.
Dr. Singh does admit the technology is still in its infancy, but whether it works yet or not,
Basket is clear of the vessel.
The Coast Guard,
it's really a drain on what the Coast Guard's meant to be there and do over time.
Believes it is at least worth trying the voice analysis program that Dr. Singh hopes will vastly improve in the next 3 to 5 years.
The future I envision for this is that one day I believe the machines will be able to create the entire persona and the surroundings of the speaker in 3D from their voice alone.
Tim Becker,
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
KOIN 6 News.